Welcome to another episode of Raw Truth. Today we're keeping it really raw, and we had an episode planned, but I came in today to Karen's place, and I feel like a really heavy load, and I just feel like, personally, like, I feel very stressed and all these emotions, and I know that other people, like other millennials, for example, like, can resonate with this if I'm just speaking the truth right now, and can relate, because I've been talking to a lot of my friends, and they've been saying the similar, like, same things. We may be dealing with, like, different problems, but at the end of the day, we're feeling the same emotions. So I feel like this will still provide a lot of value to those listening, and I'm gonna put myself out right now and just be vulnerable, because I really didn't even want to film this today. I don't want to be on camera.
Oh, that's, like, that right there is some serious raw truth. Like, she's really been going through some stuff, and while we've been shooting these episodes, and, you know, we actually did a few that we just didn't like, so we didn't, like, jump straight into it, and, you know, we've been coming up with topics to talk about, which is it's easy for me to talk like about any topic, and then I was like, you know, and we've been talking about a lot of the stuff that she's been doing, but missing a lot of it on camera. And I said to her, you know what the real is? The real is walking through vulnerability right now and giving it that raw to this podcast and this YouTube and these audience that's going to be listening potentially to us. And she was like, yep, okay, I'll do it. And that's a big move. It shifts from talking about a subject, right, which is like da-da-da-da-da, and talking about her, like what she's dealing with, what she's going through, like that's, yeah, and she's doing that for you so that you can potentially identify with some of the things that she's working through and be able to help yourselves, and yeah, kind of know that you're not alone, and that a lot of these things, like Ayesha said, you're all experiencing the same feelings, and it's from the same thoughts, you know, from the same movements in life, and within the same consciousness of thinking. And it's really brave. So I jumped in and I cut her off. She always does the introduction, but I just wanted to, like, put that right in there, because I'm really proud that she's decided to step up like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will do what I do, and I'll try to, like, get Karen to, like, clarify points and make them more digestible for you guys, and, like, with takeaways that I think can relate to, like, whatever, like, problem it is. Like, say it's not the exact same, because we're all experiencing different circumstances and everything, but I will try my best to generalize it so you guys can take away from it and grow from it and learn from it too, because honestly, like, I've learned this, and it's like I keep trying to tell myself this, but no one has their shit together, and, like, we think everyone does, but people don't, and people are really good at faking it, which is why I also think I need to just take a break from, like, social media and disconnect, because it's, like, causing a lot of extra stress that I'm fully taking responsibility that I'm putting on myself. But yeah, we'll get into it.
Like our last episode, we talked about self-love, and, like, how do you self-love, right? You love on yourself. Like, how do you know when your type of self is one that you should love on? Like, right then. Like, I'm telling you right then, just what you just did is a moment for you to stop and self-love, because that is just huge. To say, look, I've been dealing with this on social media. I know I need to take a step back. I know I need to, you know, she's someone that stands for, she's a positivity coach, a fitness coach, and she stands for everything that can benefit and grow your life, right? And she's saying all this and projecting all this, but internally she's not feeling aligned with what she's saying. So she almost feels like, this isn't right for me to be saying this to everybody when I'm not this. I know this is what I want to be, but it's not what I am, yet I'm saying this is what I am. And she feels that's not right. She's like, let me align myself with what I'm saying so I can be ultimate, pure and raw truth. And that, I think, is a really big move, because most people on social media or in life even, you know, it's not even that they're not what they're saying, it's more the fact they're saying what they're not, and they're saying how to do things that maybe they're not even an example of, which isn't bad because they're still spreading positivity, but it's a whole nother level to be able to feel and be exactly what you say and who you are and know why and how you got there. And then you're in a place of conclusions and answers and experience. And at 23, okay, you haven't, it's not even lived enough. You've got to make more mistakes. Like, you've got to make more mistakes. You've got to be realer and more honest with yourself. You've got to be able to understand stress for what it really is, which is going to be a lot of what we're talking about, I think, today, because today's episode is so raw that I'm not even sure what Ayesha wants to talk about, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing because it's real. But yeah, how about I just let you go?
I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't know. One of the things that's been like really resonating with me is that like I'm really in tune to my emotions and how I'm feeling in each moment. And like I said earlier, like I feel very heavy, and it's just like I should be so happy. And like I have moments that are really, really nice. Like I went to watch the sunset on the beach the other day, and like for 30 minutes, because it was like 7:30, so for 30 minutes, like the last bit of sunlight in the day while the sun was setting, it was just like time where I just like was sitting on the beach and like by myself, and it was the best time I've had like all week. And it's just like those moments are so great. It's like a band-aid to like how I feel every day and how I'm operating.
So what's really good about those moments, what you need to do is jump in and create imprints on your brain. All right, so when you're having an abundant moment, which means you're just feeling like ignited with positivity, your out exterior, your interior, your whole being, you just feel that yes, 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 you need to grab it. You need to take a second to not just let it resonate, let it imprint. All right, because when you're going through a moment of like hardcore stress and you don't know where's left, right, up, down, you can then, and you need that stillness space, right? You need to grab that stillness so you can jump out of it and shift to a different thinking pattern, right? Let that be your spanner. Let that imprint be like, boom, that's my trigger. Okay, go back to sitting on the beach, feeling how it feels just for a second. 6 seconds you need to do it for. 6 seconds, just sit in it, and then come back to your moment. Right? Come back to your moment again, and then when it gets too much. But that's what the brain is. The brain is all imagination. Okay? Your whole reality is just your imagination's reality. Seriously. Like, it's in what you think, it's through what you perceive. And what you perceive is your history self to this moment. So, was that too much? Okay.
Can I just check if the sound's on?
Oh no, that'd be so bad if it wasn't on. Cut back in. What were we saying? You were saying.
You're talking about consciousness, going back to that blissful moment.
Oh, making imprints. So creating imprints on your mind and using the imprints as tools. So that when you have a dark moment or in a stressful moment, you can retract that imprint, think about it for 2 seconds, and then jump back in your moment.
What if someone doesn't have that? Like, I'm really lucky that I had that moment on Monday, but what if someone can't? Or
Create
they just
it.
are...
Create it. Go and create it. Go and create it. It's so essential that you can have a moment of peace. And even if you don't have one, let's say you're in a really depressed state of being, okay? You can't possibly go out and create a peaceful, happy moment. You can't even forge it, all right? There has to be a recollection somewhere of your childhood, of your youth, somewhere that you've got a moment where you remember feeling bliss and happy, right? And you got to be able to shift to that moment and then bring yourself back into the now. You can also do it future. So you can see idealistically, using your imagination, see your best future. So whether you want to see yourself in like some dope house, swimming pools, yada, 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 getting it like that, and make that an imprint and put it on, that's fine. But you have to have something that can slice up your neurotic thinking and that behavior, that kind of conditioned pattern or way of thinking.
So that's great in like imagination, but how do you fix like your reality then?
So how? So explain to what do you mean?
Like feeling these emotions, like how do you like cope with them. Like honestly, you know how like I feel like there's no escape, and I feel like if right now I don't feel content, I don't want to go home. I don't want to leave LA. That's not an option for me because I know it won't fix the problem of how I'm internally feeling. And then I'm like, okay, like what do I need right now? Like I'm really like trying to build up my business.
Do you know what you need now? You need gratitude. You need to realize, like I keep saying, you're in an opportunity. Do you know how many people watching this would be like, oh my God, this girl gets to look like you, be in LA, like she's got like deals going on, consultant deals going on. The reason she's so overwhelmed is because she's literally got so much coming at her. She's complaining because she's got so much coming at her.
No, I don't think so.
She does. It's her perspective because you want it now. You want it right now. You want to be able to do what you don't. You're not even sure what it is that you actually want your present life to look like. It's working itself out for you right now. Right? It's really working itself out for you. So, but you're saying, no, I want the end. I want the end. I know better than the process. I want the end, and that's causing the suffering, is that you thinking that you know better. Okay? You're perfectly in the perfect spot with the perfect opportunities, da-da-da-da-da. You have to detach a lot of the stress from it and realize that you should be so lucky, and you should be like, I am so blessed to be living out this potential life, even to be in front of this camera speaking to these people. That's a blessing. And so when you shift it from that, and this is just you, right? A lot of people aren't even going to be able to identify with what your situation is, because your situation for them is like way up here.
It's not. Trust me, we're all the same. Like no one is like...
But your situation in the sense of the way that they see where you're at. Like there are people in the world that don't have a roof over their head. They don't have money. They don't have, they might even have one arm or a deformity, or they've got something going on, and and they've got more joy about their day, right? I'm not saying that you're a higher person or a lower person. I'm saying that it's all circumstantial to your perspective and the way that you see it. So what I'm saying to you is the way you see yourself is the way you see yourself. And just like everybody else sees themselves in that way, you have to retrain the way you see yourself. Okay, and by doing that, it means that you're not thinking the way that you think right now, on multi different levels, right? Because if you put yourself in a box of, I'm Ayesha, I'm the fitness trainer, I look like this, I've got to be like this, I've got to talk like this, like how stressful is that? Just even my words, as opposed to, I'm Ayesha, yeah, da 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 da, boom, whatever comes out, it's all good. Right? It's just all good. And like that is a freedom and a liberation, and then your soul gets to come through your mouth. And you're going to make mistakes, but it's your real self making mistakes.
How do you get there?
You let go you have to begin with thinking that the way that you're thinking is just your personality thinking. Do you know what I mean? So your conditioned self is thinking this way. Your form, your brain, your hands, this is thinking the Ayesha in you, or the soul in you, or the consciousness that lives inside you. That's infinite. I'm a part of that, you're a part of that, our guys are together. Every single person has it inside of them. Every single life form has this oneness, right? This oneness of consciousness that's all the same. Okay, but then you've got a brain that's specifically for you, and you use it as your human self. And you get a choice to think, and how much this guy comes up, or how much this guy's just like hanging out down here. I'm too programmed in the system. I'm in it. I'm on it, right? That's like this guy's shut down. So you're asking, how do I be this guy up here and get rid of this guy? That's literally what you're saying. So what you're saying is, how do I get myself out of the way? How do I get myself out of the way? That's going to be so scary for you. You know why? Because your whole issues of control come from hanging on to this guy. The whole idea of control and being in control is more about hanging on to. That's why you want it this. And that's why things that you can control, that are easy for you to control, you grip onto them with life, and you say, this is your joy. This is who I am. This is me. This is your self-identification. But it's not. It's actually the opposite. If you could remove that, as painful as it might be in the moment, because you're going to feel even more lost than you are now. Okay, in the beginning you will, because you have habits, you're trained. So imagine doing something every single day and then you're not. You're gonna feel like foreign and empty maybe, and like as if you're going through a breakup with a person, which once you're in love with someone, it's the same thing. You have habit energy with that person, you break up from them, all of a sudden you're like screwed. And the person gets all the credit. It's not that person. Yeah, you're in love with that person, but it's also the habit energy that's been attached to it. And it's the same with your patterns and your cycles of kind of addictions. And I don't mean addictions like, I do mean like drug addictions, but a person can be addiction, right? Running every single morning, 4 a.m. for every single day of your life, that if you don't do it one day, that you feel like you're going to cry and you're broken. Okay, that's an addiction. You're addicted to something. You need to be able to have no needs, no attachments, no expectations of anything. It's all good, right? And so the biggest thing for you is to be able to first just see it, just like look at yourself. So you create this consciousness gets to have a brain. In the sense of the consciousness, the underlying one, gets to think and gets to be in control. Don't push it down.
I don't understand how you would let that be in control.
Force. So like force is in like, say you're thinking, give me a scenario where today, give me something of today that brought you stress. Let me make it really simple.
Okay, so like how I told you, I'm like working on like my leads and everything, and like generating more leads and organizing when I can do calls with these people. And it's just like people have schedules, I have a schedule, and like when things aren't like, it's just hard, like to like, it gets to be a lot when I have like all these emails coming through and everyone's like, oh, I want this time, no, I want this time, and like I have to go back and reschedule stuff, and I'm trying to generate business too, and like that's a lot of stress. And then having like my parents be like, where's the ROI, like, oh, you don't have that, like maybe you should just get a job like working for this person. And I'm just like, no, because I know I can really make it in this business if I just like so almost like stopping that and just being like, fuck this, like honestly, like let's just throw my laptop away and my iPhone away and like let go of all these obligations.
But as soon as you pick it back up again, what do you think's going to happen? Stress, and it's going to be there because it's the same habits just on stop.
Because you didn't clear it.
Exactly, you didn't clear it. So you need to become, the way to cure the way that you are is the opposite, polar opposite. So you need to be decisive, and you need to have boundaries, and you need to set things for yourself. So the same way you do.
Like you're like I said to you, like boundaries are hard to set when like if someone cancels on a meeting but you need to have this meeting, then like it goes into like, for example, like I booked a meeting on the time that's like my gym time every day.
So the way you would respond to it, okay, because what happens is you're upset by it's not like, yo, chill, whatever, they cancelled the meeting, like I'm just going to do it at this time, right? It's not a chill reaction for you. It's like an annoying reaction you get when they cancel it or they shift it. So then you put that forth in the sense of, you'll say, okay, I can shift it to X amount of time, confirmed, right? Use like strong, short words that suggest like who you are, because with everything that you write and everything that you exchange and every delivery you have, you're expressing who you are, and they're going to receive you and treat you accordingly. If you want someone to respect you, you have to be decisive, you have to be polite, but you have to be, your time is not just, oh, I can switch it here, I can switch it there. Otherwise people are going to like throw you around. They're not going to, you're like, this is my time. And you know what? You don't want to work with anyone that's shopping you around, boom, 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 boom. It's not something that's for you. And do you want to have anyone that you're going to work with, if it's going to be short term or long term, that's going to bring that much maintenance? You've either got to be acceptance of that and increase your price, right? Increase your price, or to be like, you know what? You have a conversation, you say, you know what? I don't have a lot of time. I want to work with you, but I can't keep shifting this. This is the first time we're doing stuff and it's too much. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to respect you. They're not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to work with her because she's a bitch. That's how you think they would react. That's not how they react. That's not how they react. Because that's being honest, okay? And it's showing that you respect your time, and it'll make them respect yours as well. Okay, but I'm talking, you're 23. So you know, I've learnt these things, and I've been in just so many professional environments, and you see what I respect. I see the way other people, what I respect in others and how they operate. And I like things, boom, you're there, boom, do, because it's efficiency, right? So you've got all these times in between to like enjoy. And when you're in work, you're in the work moment. You're not in the work moment all the way. You're in the work moment in the work moment. You're in the play moment in the play moment. You're in the sun moment, the sun moment. It's, you know, they don't carry through with you, which is why you become loaded. You'll come in, you'll just be like, literally 50,000 elephants are on her back. All right. And she's like, you know, and it's like, how did it come? You know, and we'll start to break it down, and I'll listen to her, and, you know, it's just a lot, but it's the choices that you make that are making it a lot, and the thoughts that you're thinking that are making it feel like a lot. Okay. It's not, you could kill this life. You could do this life. There are people that do work double as many hours as you do. All right. And doing much harder jobs. All right. But it's what you're attaching, the mental attitude that you attach to it is so important. The mental attitude. So my answer to your question directly is the first thing you have to shift is your mental attitude. So that's the enthusiasm you attach to whatever you're doing, whether it's writing an email or setting up a meeting or showing up to something. That is what you've got to have, the right mental attitude. Feel me? Mm-hmm. Okay, where are you at? What are you thinking? I know you're listening, because I know when you're listening what you look like, but I also want to know what you're thinking.
No, I understand. I agree with all of it. It's just like, it's a process, like nothing can happen now. I guess, I don't know. I don't really know.
You know what it is right now. You know what? Right now, in this episode, you're going to like re-platform yourself. No. I sent her this text message about re-platforming, and she wrote question mark, re-platforming question mark. Re-platforming means that from this moment onwards, you make a decisive commitment to think different for the greater good of yourself. A conscious, concise, committed decision to think differently. What do you think that might look like? What would you think that would look like if you were to...
like letting go in a lot of areas of my life. Because like I like to have control over everything. And especially like what I've noticed, like the habits.
So what would be a thought to let go? What does let go mean?
Like, I guess like it's okay to like be kinder to myself and like relax for myself, because I'm like never chilled out. So like being like, okay, chill out, like put your phone down, like you don't have to always be doing something that's like productive.
Yeah.
Every minute of the day. And like every area of my life I like to have like really controlled. So like even in like my health and fitness, like with what I eat, everything is so particular, and like it's hard. You can't just let go though. Like it's easy for you to say, but like when you've been like trained a certain way, you can't let go. That's like every day waking up at 6 and then being wake up at 11.
Yeah, you
like
can if you choose
drastic. To. But it's really hard.
But that's what's needed. It's like, it seems hard. It's not really. It's just, if it's instead of waking up at 5, waking up at 11, because that's what's good for you.
It's a big jump. That's what I'm trying to point out by that.
Unless you enjoy it, then it's like a vacation. It's like a vacation to get to a new destination.
But you enjoy it, but it's uncomfortable because you feel guilty for it.
But that's if you're in this thinking pattern. If you're in the new thinking pattern, you wouldn't think that way. You'd be like excited about it. So you'd be excited about waking up at 11 o'clock for the opportunity and what it could bring. But then you feel the guilt
because, I could have been productive for this amount.
But your idea of productive is not productive. Your idea of productive is not, it just feels productive to your control addiction. Mm-hmm. So it feeds your addiction.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
So it's like someone that's like on heroin, right? Or on any drug, like, and I'm using that because it's such an obvious example. So they say they can't be, or cigarettes is a really good one. They more relaxed. They make all the excuses in the world why the cigarettes are good for them and how it helps their life. They have to attach those things to it. Then they'll even go as far as saying like, you know, I'm not as good a person without cigarettes. This is what, you know, makes me productive. This is what makes me feel, you know, they add all these kind of affirmations to the habit. Okay. And, you know, even to the point where they'll say, don't care. I'd rather smoke and live till 60 than not smoke and live to 90. Like people will say that. Like they'll go in their head because it's so hard to quit cigarettes. It's so hard to quit cigarettes that you're much better to affirmate that what you're doing is right. Even when that thing shows in your face, you've just got lung cancer. You've just been told that you've got to stop from 2 packets to 1 and you still can't.
Okay, what if it's like a habit that is like positive by society and like for example, like doing work all the time. Like that's
affirmated by society. That's very cool question.
But it's like it's a positive habit to like want to wake up early and want to work and want to be, even if you don't think it's productive in that sense, it's still productive because it's still like reaching out, doing a lead, or like going to the gym all the time. Like even though like yes, like it may do good to have a rest day, it's still like good to do. Like you still went to the gym, like.
But there's
like eating pizza.
This
like
is
you're saying like give in, have the pizza, but it's like, but not having a healthier meal is technically better.
Okay, but you're taking it all the way to the extreme.
But that's like what I'm dealing with though.
You're taking it all the way to the extreme because that's coming from a place of fear. So because you're coming from a place of fear and insecurity of like that you can't live without living this way. And that this is the extreme, and it's not good for me to like eat unhealthy and eat fried chicken and da-da-da-da-da. That's not what we're saying for you to do. Obviously, number one thing is to care about what you eat. You're not gonna not care about what you eat. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it doesn't have to be 1 pea, half a carrot, 3/4 of a celery, 2/5 of a slice of chicken, 2/8 of a bread without crust, but with the salt on, only 3 grains of salt, not 2 grains of salt. That is illness. That is not healthy. That mindset, you are not having a healthy friendship with food. Alright, so I'm not saying go and eat pizza, da-da-da-da. I'm saying that you have to change and break these habits of thinking and being. You're taking it to the extreme because you want to do this way and you want to affirmate it and you want to know that what you're doing is right. So you'll take that and put it on it. And you're like, yeah, I'm good, because the opposite is that. There are a gazillion different ways that aren't the same way as yours that are healthier than yours, you know? So I think that's the internal struggle that you need to be aware that that's what a part of the addiction is these affirmations that you just validated all the time. So if you were to re-platform, right, and you were to think differently, like you said, letting go means just being like, yo, that's me thinking like that, that's me telling that's this guy thinking, right? And the one that's recognizing this guy thinking is saying like, all right, that's just how I think, I'm gonna do it like this. And be excited about this, be determined about doing it this way. Use that discipline, that raw, this girl, the discipline in her is like hardcore, like can't even like just boom, you are not gonna touch her, she's going out of the way, okay? That's how direct and severe her discipline is. If you could use that to go in the opposite way for a second, even though knowing it's going to be so uncomfortable for a minute, because that's what truth does. Truth makes it feel so uncomfortable. Truth is like, no one wants to be told the truth. Okay, it's like religion. It's the same thing. No one wants to be told that their religion is just like a religion. It's no one wants to be told that. That hurts. And they're going to either attack you for telling them that, or they're going to affirmate themselves and find every single possible which way to tell themselves that that religion's right and that they're right and that they're good. And they're going to throw even more hate at you because you're the one that threw the truth at them. But if you jump out of the religion and you decide not to go to church one day, or you decide not to pray or kneel or whatever is a part of your thing, and you realize you're not going to die if you don't do it, and you're not going to die if you live a different way, or you're not going to have something bad, that's the whole thing you think is going to happen, which is in this control, this fear, the massive cage of fear that you live in, As soon as that diffuses, once you've lived out there and you're like, oh, actually I'm okay. Oh, wow. This feels good actually for a second. And don't be scared to enjoy the feeling of feeling good, to feel like you're going to get lost from this idea of what's right. Because I know that's what you might do. Did you get that?
No, can you say it again?
So don't, when you're out here living on a different note, waking up at 11 o'clock per se, don't think, oh, I'm enjoying this, and feel guilt for enjoying it because you think that this is really what's right and you think you're going to get too far away from your idea of right. You're only doing this to establish balance, right? This is the balance. So all we're using this exercise for is to put you in the deep end to establish the balance. We're not saying this is going to be your forever lifestyle.
Yeah, no, you're like, take a 48-hour, 3-day thing.
Right. And then with that the new thinking, this space that you've allowed yourself, that even the bad guys allowed yourself, alright, has allowed you to have this 48 hours. It's like, okay, Ayesha, have the 48 hours, go and see what you think. Alright, I'll be quiet. I'm going to try anyway. Alright, and this guy's like, oh yes, come on, I've got you full dominance. I'm going to enjoy, we're going to think, we're going to dub, we're going to bum, we're going to bump. Right? That guy cannot feel guilt in its 48 hours or thereafter. Because this experience was a part of the discipline that you needed to be able to just get there and do it. And then once you're in it, you're allowing free-flowing thinking, different thinking. You don't think from the mindset of this because you don't have that same belief system anymore.
I like that taking like short breaks. I really think that like can help allow you or like let you take that break that you need and like step into like another narrative or another consciousness. I feel like that's like doable. As like hard as it is, it's like doable because it's like only this amount of time.
What do you think? What thoughts do you think like might arise that you have to like be like whoosh, put up like the
like guilt, like, oh, you shouldn't do that, like
the guilt
you shouldn't
guy,
be doing
the
this.
shame, the guilt.
You could be doing this. Oh, you're not good enough to do this. Like you're not at the level to enjoy. Like you don't have that. Like all the like negative voices.
Wait, can you give me some? Because I want to hear these guys' voice. Like I don't have these guys' voices. I want to hear these guys' voices just so I can like battle them for you here. So then when you're in it, you know how to battle them. Right?
Like,
come on, give them to me.
Like,
so tell me what comes. I'm sure you've tried to do this before.
Yeah, like you're not good enough. Like you can't do this. Like,
good enough
you're
for
not
what?
Successful enough to like take a day off. Like you're not even making good money. Like you can't take a day off. Like what? Like you're a bum. Like literally, like.
Okay, so now let me give you the opportunity to answer it yourself. So your higher self, this guy that's hanging out over here, what would he tell that guy?
Just to be quiet. I don't know.
But would he know why that guy's wrong?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that guy wrong?
Because like, you want me to answer it?
Yeah.
Because like, a break is needed, and like I'm doing the best I can, and sometimes like you need to just chill out. Yeah.
And what about, okay, let me be the bad guy. I'll try and be the bad guy. But by you taking this day off, we could be productive. I could be getting leads. I could be getting connections. I could be like hooking at networking. I could be training, and I could be like, why are we not doing that?
Making my body better.
Making my body better. Why am I not doing that?
Because downtime is good for you. It'll do more good. It'll make you enjoy this experience of life.
Yeah! Keep going.
Like, you need it.
You need it.
Enjoy
you need it. Exactly.
Like, literally, like, you can die tomorrow.
Right. And also, you need to learn how to be in the present moment more. And this guy is giving you an opportunity to think so differently through being present, through receiving differently, delivering differently. He's giving you a chance to be the deepest part of the rawest part of you. This guy's giving you a chance to be your personality. Whatever. You know how many personalities there are? Almost 8 billion of them in the world. It's like I think there's 7.5 something billion people in the world. 98% of people are personalities all around, all these personalities. You can want to go be a personality, womp. If you want an opportunity to be a being, bees with its personality on it and the right balance of those guys, where your being and your human are equal. And these guys live out life together. Then you can have the sickest fun and use your human self to enjoy all the expression and the emotion. As opposed to the human just going and this guy's like in the back seat tagging along.
So when you aren't around like someone like Karen, and like when I'm gonna really try to just like take a day or even like half a day to just chill out and relax, or like try to find moments. Like for example, like I'll try to do different things that'll allow me to have those like moments of relief and joy. And the way to allow yourself to do that is to let your higher self speak to you when you have those feelings of guilt to get through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, get on top of that
Try
guy.
it.
Look, just by trying it and thinking about trying
Try.
it, you feel different just from the thoughts of thinking about trying it. It's like all of a sudden this guy's down here, you're not are it. When you are it, it is there. When you're thinking about not being it, there's a space created. There's like, it's here now, even though you're here and it's here. All right, the hard part is when you leave is to be able to make sure this guy stays up here. Don't let this guy come up and start going again and this guy like goes, all right, cool, okay, cool. Right, this guy's got to stay there. So you have to empower him. You have to keep telling him, yo, let's do it. And you know what? It's going to come from like practicing presence. Practicing like if you're on a lime, did you park here or did you lime here?
Oh, a bird.
Bird, right. So we have these scooters in Venice and because of the parking situation, she parks and gets these birds. I want you to be on that bird like, yeah, I'm in Venice. I'm from Toronto. I have moved to Venice, been here for like a month, loving it. I'm on this bird, the weather's perfect, the palm trees, everything is so much yes, and I get to be me. And I'm on social media, I got like all these followers, I got like going with this direction in my life, this is my feeling, and I'm not only that, I'm getting to be a whole nother version and real, truer, deeper, vibrant self of myself. And I get to do that and be that and feel that like, yeah, on life, love this life, yeah. Get it like that, every single experience. Drown out the bad guy by telling yourself what to think in the moment.